could force 9 experienced hikers to cut their way out of their tent in the middle of a freezing winter night? Why did they run into the darkness without proper clothes? And what really happened on a remote mountain in the Soviet Union in 1959? More than 60 years later, the Dyatlov Pass Incident remains one of history's greatest mysteries. Tonight, we explore the facts, the theories, and the truth behind Russia's most haunting mountain tragedy. In January 1959, 9 young and skilled hikers set out on an ambitious expedition across the northern Ural Mountains. Their leader was Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old engineering student with extensive experience in winter trekking. The group included engineers, students, and athletes, people who knew how to survive in some of the harshest conditions on Earth. Their goal was to reach Mount Otorten, a difficult but achievable challenge. Nobody imagined that none of them would ever return. The expedition started with 10 members. However, one hiker, Yuri, became ill and turned back early. That decision saved his life. The remaining 9 continued deeper into the wilderness. The weather worsened. Strong winds and heavy snow slowed their progress. On February 1st, the group set up camp on the eastern slope of a mountain known by the local Mansi people as Kholat Syakhl. Its name carried an unsettling meaning, the Mountain of the Dead. That night would become their last. Weeks passed with no communication. Concerned relatives demanded answers. Eventually, search teams were sent into the mountains. What they discovered shocked the entire Soviet Union. The hikers' tent was still standing, but something was terribly wrong. The tent had been sliced open from the inside. Their boots, coats, and personal belongings remained behind. It appeared that the group had fled into the freezing darkness in absolute panic. The temperature that night was estimated to be below minus 30 degrees Celsius. Leaving shelter under those conditions was almost certain death. But what could have frightened them enough to do it? About a mile from the campsite, rescuers found the first 2 bodies. They lay beneath a cedar tree. Both men were barefoot. A small fire had been built nearby, suggesting they desperately tried to stay alive. Broken branches high in the tree indicated that someone had climbed upward, perhaps to look for danger or locate the tent. Between the cedar tree and the campsite, 3 more bodies were discovered. They appeared to be heading back toward the tent. It seemed they had realized their mistake and attempted to return. They never made it. Months later, when the snow melted, the remaining 4 hikers were found in a nearby ravine. Their injuries were astonishing. One suffered massive chest trauma. Another had severe skull fractures. One victim was missing her tongue. Yet strangely, there were few external wounds. Investigators compared the force of the injuries to a car accident. What could create such devastating damage without leaving obvious signs of violence? The mystery only deepened. Over the decades, countless theories emerged. Some believed the hikers were attacked by escaped prisoners. Others suspected secret Soviet military experiments. There were stories about UFOs, mysterious orange lights, and even supernatural forces. Conspiracy theories spread around the world, but evidence for these claims remained weak. No signs of another group were found. No footprints suggested an attack, and no definitive proof connected the incident to military activity. The truth, it seemed, was buried beneath layers of snow and time. For many years, experts debated whether an avalanche caused the tragedy. Critics argued that the slope was too gentle. No major avalanche debris had been observed, yet modern researchers revisited the evidence. Using advanced computer models and snow science, they proposed a different possibility: a delayed slab avalanche. Strong winds could have slowly deposited heavy snow above the tent. Hours after the hikers fell asleep, the snow suddenly collapsed. Fearing a larger avalanche, the group may have cut their way out and escaped immediately. In the darkness and blizzard conditions, they became disoriented. Unable to find their tent again, they succumbed to the freezing temperatures. The severe injuries suffered by the final 4 hikers could have occurred after falling into the ravine beneath heavy snow. It was a tragic chain of events rather than a sinister mystery. In 2020, Russian authorities officially concluded that an avalanche was the most likely explanation. Many scientists supported this conclusion. However, not everyone was convinced. Some questions still remain. Why was the tent partially intact? Why did experienced hikers fail to return? Could panic and darkness alone explain every decision they made? The debate continues to this day. Beyond the mystery lies a deeply human tragedy. These were not fictional characters. They were young people with dreams, families, and futures. They loved adventure. They trusted one another, and together they faced one final challenge against the overwhelming power of nature. Their story reminds us that even the most skilled explorers remain vulnerable in extreme environments. Sometimes nature needs no monsters. Sometimes the mountains themselves are enough. The Dyatlov Pass Incident may never be fully understood. Perhaps some details were lost forever in the snow-covered wilderness of the Ural Mountains. But one thing is certain: the story of Igor Dyatlov and his companions continues to fascinate the world because it touches something universal: our fear of the unknown and our endless desire to uncover the truth hidden within history's greatest mysteries. What do you think really happened on that cold February night in 1959? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoy historical mysteries and untold stories, don't forget to subscribe for more journeys into the past.